Hello! I'm Elaine, and I'm a tour guide in the French Quarter. I do ghost tours. And I am not going to tell you the stories that I tell on my tour, because you gotta pay for those. But if you want to hear some interesting things that have happened to me while I'm leading random drunk people around the French Quarter, I got you. So one of the more interesting things you learn as a tour guide is all the creative inanimate objects that people can fight slash use in a fight. So I've seen the normal things. Like, yes, I have seen a minor knife fight. Not anything big. No blood was drawn, just like two guys slashing at each other with knives. I've seen at least one instance of somebody drawing a gun on another. A lot of people throwing things. Art, sticks, mixed drinks, fun things, at least one brick. Uh, I've also, of course, seen fist fights, but I like the creative ones. Just today, I was walking down the street and there was a homeless guy who was sleeping in the road, and he wasn't really sleeping because he had a cattle prod style taser that he was tasing the air anytime someone came within, about 4 yards of him. And it was surprisingly loud. Could hear it like a block and a half away. And that's why I know he kept going for probably about 20 minutes before the authorities showed up and told him he needed to stop tasing the air. But I've also seen, people fighting stop signs, people fighting trash cans. Trash cans are pretty common. Drunk guys love to kick them. There was one night I was sitting in my car, watching this guy just wander down the street kicking over trash cans. It was hilarious when he reached the end of the block and kicked the one that is cemented to the ground and made of metal. And then he was lying on the ground, and I did not feel any pity because he had kicked the trash can into my car. But I've also seen a bass drum fight. As in, I was waiting for a group of guests to arrive, and it's a family-friendly tour. So when they do arrive, of course, it's a family with small children, and the dad is standing there watching with me as some of the guys that hang out in Jackson Square start fighting and immediately pick up the bass drum from one of the bands and start flinging at each other. And it went on for long enough that I'm just sitting there talking to the dad, being like, I promise you the rest of the tour will not be bass drum fights. Please do not leave. But my more recent favorite is a night that I was trying to do a stop over in one of the more interesting areas, and I am telling a story as I walk up. So, I hear voices, and I'm like, oh no. Oh no. But when I gather in that location, I can tell that there's a guy screaming in the middle of the road. So I turned to my guests and I'm like, hey guys, do you want to continue this stop here? I promise you, if we go elsewhere, you will hear the exact same story. You just won't be standing in the location I'm talking about. And they were like, no, it's fine. It's fine. He's not causing that much chaos. It's okay. And he'll probably, run out of steam soon and run away. And I'm a bit nervous because the guy is screaming at a bicycle, not at a person. And this is not screaming at a bicycle the way, you would if, the seat fell off and you're like, oh, you piece of shit. No, he's standing there going fuck you, I'm gonna kill you, you slut. And yes, he did call the bicycle a slut. But I'm like, okay, well, if the guests are okay with this, I'm gonna continue the story. I'm a bit nervous because I have to turn my back on the guy, but I'm telling this story, and suddenly all my guests flinch. And so I spin around to see what the hell is happening, and he has lifted the bicycle up, and is throwing it across the street at the bike rack. And that's the moment I'm like, okay, guys, let's go elsewhere. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for listening.